Canada immigration is changing. The 100-point CRS score trick you need in 2025. Hello, future Canadians. Welcome back to Canada Immigration Matters. I am Pius, your regulated Canadian immigration consultant from Chugo Immigration Services. Let me ask you a question. Have you been looking at the recent Express Entry draws? Have you seen the comprehensive ranking system scores in the 500s and thought to yourself, is it even possible for me to immigrate to Canada anymore? If you are sitting there feeling frustrated thinking, Pius, how on earth am I supposed to compete with a score of 500? You are not alone. You've heard the news. The government has reduced its provincial nominee program targets for 2025. The competition is fierce. The policies are changing every single month. We are seeing caps on study permits and tougher rules for foreign workers. The competition is tougher than ever. It feels like the goalposts keep moving, doesn't it? But what if I told you there is a secret weapon? A weapon that is entirely in your control. It is not a job offer. It is not going back to school for 4 years. Well, I want you to take a deep breath. Because in this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you the single most powerful tool you have in your immigration arsenal. It's something you control completely, and it can boost your CRS score by over 100 points. Today, we are going deep. I am going to show you how treating the IELTS like a game, and winning it, can completely change your destiny in 2026 and 2027. We are talking about the difference between staying home and packing your bags for Toronto or Calgary. Stick with me to the end because I'm not just going to tell you what it is. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it to beat the competition and make your Canadian dream a reality in 2026 or 2027. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with the hard truth. The game has changed. In 2023, the government announced a target of 110,000 provincial nominations for 2024 and 120,000 for 2025. But recently, that 2025 target was slashed to just 55,000. That's a massive reduction. What does this mean for you? It means the provincial nominee programs, which were a lifeline for many, are now twice as competitive. It means that relying on a PNP nomination is no longer a guaranteed strategy. Second, we need to understand the battlefield. The Canadian government is prioritizing candidates who can integrate quickly. Communication is key. Many of my clients come to me and say, Pius, my English is good. I speak it every day. I will just go in and take the test. Then they score a Canadian language benchmark, or CLB, of 7. Now, CLB 7 is eligible. It gets you into the pool. But in this current climate, being eligible is not enough. Being eligible gets you stuck in the pool for 2 years. Being exceptional gets you an invitation to apply. At the same time, General Express entry draws are consistently requiring CRS scores above 500. So the big question is, how do you bridge that gap? How do you go from a score of, say, 350 to a competitive score of 480 or more? The answer isn't in finding a magical job offer or hoping for a lucky break. The answer is language proficiency. Language is your superpower. I see this all the time. Applicants work so hard to get their degree, they get their work experience, and then they aim for the bare minimum on their language test. A Canadian language benchmark or a CLB of 7. They think that's the requirement, so that's all I need. This is the single biggest mistake you can make. For instance, if you have a master's degree and good work experience, but you score a CLB 7 in English, you get 0 bonus points for transferability. 0. Let me show you why. Let's create a profile for a fictional applicant. We'll call him David. David is 29 years old, has a master's degree and 3 years of skilled work experience outside Canada. He's single. This is a strong profile. Now let's say David takes his IELTS General Training test and scores a CLB 7 across the board. That's a CLB 6 in all 4 bands: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Let's calculate his score. For his age, he gets 110 points. For his master's degree, he gets 135 points. For his 3 years of foreign work experience, he gets 25 points. And for his CLB 7 language skills, he gets a total of 68 points. But here's the most important part: the skill transferability factors. This is where your language score supercharges your education and work experience. With a master's degree in CLB 7, he gets 25 points. With 3 years of work experience in CLB 7, he gets another 25 points. Total CRS score for David at CLB 7, 388 points. 388, not competitive. In today's Express Entry pool, that score will unfortunately not receive an invitation. David will be waiting for a very, very long time. But what if David had watched this video? What if he decided not to settle for the minimum? What if he aimed for a CLB 9? A CLB 9 on the IELTS test means an 8.0 in listening and a 7.0 in reading, writing, and speaking. This is achievable with dedicated preparation. Now let's recalculate his score. David's score at CLB 9. His age, education, and work experience points are the same, but look at the language points. For his CLB 9 language skills, his points jump from 68 to 124. That's a 56-point increase right there. But the real magic is in the skill transferability factors. With a master's degree and CLB 9, his points double from 25 to the maximum of 50 points. With 3 years of work experience and CLB 9, his points also double from 25 to the maximum of 50 points. New total CRS score for David at CLB 9, 494 points. 494. Invitation zone. He jumped by 106 points. He went from being completely out of the running to being in a strong position to receive an invitation to apply, especially in a category-based draw for STEM or other targeted professions. Do you see the power of this? It's the same person, same education, same experience. The only thing that changed was his focus on the language test. So how do we get there? We need to train. You cannot just walk in. You need to prepare for the general training test. Remember, the academic test is for school. The general training is for immigration. I want you to visit the official resources. We have put the link in the description. The IELTS listening and speaking tests are the same for everyone, but reading and writing are specific to general training. On the website I am giving you, you can find official practice materials that allow you to 1. Get used to the specific test format. 2. Experience the actual types of tasks involved. 3. Test yourself under timed conditions. Do not skip that last part. Timed conditions. Pressure changes everything. You also have options. You can take the general training on paper or on a computer. If you are a fast typer, and I know many of you live on your keyboards, the computer-based test might save you on the writing section. It is cleaner, faster, and your hand will not cramp up. Plus, the results often come back faster. Also, the computer test offers faster results and has features like a word counter for the writing section, which many people find helpful. But if you prefer circling answers and writing by hand, the paper test is still there for you. Check the sample test questions for both formats. Do the sample listening. Do the sample reading. Compare your answers with the model answers. If you are consistently scoring a band 6 in practice, do not book the test yet. Study until you are hitting a band 8 in practice. That is how you save money and time. You need to prepare. The IELTS General Training test has 4 parts. Listening. You need to practice with official sample tests. Train your ear to catch details. The link to free practice materials is in the description below. Reading. It's all about time management. Don't get stuck on one question. Practice skimming and scanning for answers. Writing. This is where many people lose points. You need to understand the structure for Task 1, the letter, and Task 2, the essay. Use clear paragraphs and address all parts of the question. Speaking. Practice speaking English every day. Record yourself. Get comfortable talking about a variety of topics. It's not about having a perfect accent, it's about clear communication. Now, are you ready for the secret weapon? The strategy that can make your profile almost unstoppable? Here is the turbocharger, the French advantage. It's learning French. I know. Pius, I do not speak French. But listen to me. Canada is desperate for francophones outside of Quebec. Even if your English is perfect, adding a French language test like the TEF or TCF Canada can give you a massive advantage. If you have a CLB 5 or higher in French, in addition to your strong English score, you can get up to 50 additional bonus points. Let's go back to David. He has 494 points with his CLB 9 in English. Now he adds a modest French score. His score jumps to 544. At that level, he would likely be invited in the very next general draw. Furthermore, there are specific express entry draws that target candidates with French proficiency, and these draws often have much lower CRS score requirements. Friends, if you have basic French knowledge from school, or if you are willing to dedicate 6 months to intensive study, this is your golden ticket. It is the single most effective way to bypass the high competition in the general pool. Okay, let's summarize the key takeaways from today. This is your action plan. First, acknowledge the new reality. Canadian immigration is more competitive and you need to be strategic. Hope is not a strategy. Second, stop aiming for the minimum. A CLB 7 is no longer a ticket to success. It's the starting block, not the finish line. Third, your new goal is a CLB 9 or 10 in English. This is the single most effective way to increase your CRS score. Dedicate 3 to 6 months to serious preparation. It is the best investment you will ever make in your immigration journey. Fourth, if you're serious about maximizing your chances, consider learning French. It's the ultimate tiebreaker and can open doors that are closed to others. This journey isn't about being the luckiest applicant, it's about being the smartest and most prepared. You have the power to significantly improve your profile. Now, understanding this strategy is the first step. The next is implementing it perfectly within your Express Entry profile and your overall application. Ensuring your documents are flawless, your NOC code is correct, and your application is presented in the best possible light is where professional help makes all the difference. Immigrating to Canada is not a lottery, it is a calculated process. You maximize every point you can control, and language is the one thing you have 100% control over. If you are feeling overwhelmed, or if you have your test results and want to know exactly how to structure your profile to get that invitation to apply, my team at Chugo Immigration Services is here for you. We do not just fill out forms, we build strategies. We build a comprehensive strategy tailored to your unique profile, guiding you every step of the way, from maximizing your CRS score to submitting your final application for permanent residence. If you're ready to stop worrying and start working on a real strategic plan for your Canadian dream, I invite you to contact us, chugoimmigration@gmail.com. Let us handle the complexities so you can focus on what matters most: preparing for your language test and getting ready for your new life in Canada. Do not let a test score stand between you and your new life. Go practice, study hard, and contact us when you are ready to win. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to Canada Immigration Matters, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. I'm Pius Ekwulugo, and I'm here to help you make your Canadian dream a reality. See you in Canada.